Austin Riley, Braves third baseman. He joins Buck and Hut on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Austin, welcome in, man. How'd the offseason go for you?
Appreciate you having me, guys. Yeah, it was good. It was quick, but got a lot of good work in. Did some hunting, and then worked on the swing. So it was good.
What's up with this hunting thing? I think we had AJ Minter on yesterday, Buck, and he said he spent a lot of hunting in the offseason. Did you guys go together?
Austin's from Mississippi, man. He knows all about it.
Yeah, no, we didn't go together, but I traveled up to Nebraska and killed a deer there, and then went to Texas and killed one there. So that's definitely, it's a good little getaway from after a long season.
Austin, you got the 21 team now assembled at spring training. As you look around the clubhouse, pretty confident that this is going to be another special year?
I do. I really do. Guys like Ozuna, just everybody, Freddie, everybody. I just feel like we're a complete team, one through nine. I think Danzy's going to have another really solid year. I have a lot of confidence. Having Chipper there to pick his brain, about in-game stuff is going to be huge. I think he's going to help us tremendously on that mental side of the game.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about that. That's unique, as Chipper was working for ESPN and now will be serving in a role as a kind of a part-time assistant hitting coach. What does that mean, and what does that look like? Take us behind the curtain on how he can help you from a mental approach, physical approach, but just being able to tap into all the wisdom and knowledge that is a Hall of Famer.
I think for me it's in between the ears, on that side of the game of understanding what a pitcher's trying to do. And I think he's so good at that. I just hearing him talk, just some of the stuff that he comes up with, days that he doesn't feel good, days that he felt really good. Obviously, that was a lot of the time throughout his career. But just like I said, just picking his brain on what pitchers are trying to do, how you can, set up guys. I think he's going to be huge for us on that side, especially me.
Austin, the postseason run you guys took us on last season, did you gain a lot of confidence from that experience, the postseason run? Obviously, a big stage, and I saw you deliver a few times in there. What kind of confidence you gained coming off that postseason run last year?
A lot. Just to be able to be a part of that. Obviously we didn't get what we wanted to, but like I said, I think we got a lot of it, a lot out of it as a team. For me, just like I said, the confidence for sure. Just being able to go up there and put up some good at bats and put the team in a position to succeed was huge for me. Not along with that defensively wise. I had a couple key. I felt like high pressured moment ground balls that I was able to make to kind of let it there you go, put that extra confidence in my back pocket going into this year of playing a full season and then hopefully be back in that same spot.
Braves third baseman Austin Riley joins Buck and Hut here on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Austin, you're going into your third go-around, I guess, is that what you would call it, at the major level, but you have yet to have a full 162-game season. Talk about your mental approach coming into this year, knowing that even defensively, like, you're going to be at third base. You're not really worried about, like, it's your job. You're going to show up to the ballpark and not have to really worry about, am I in left field? Am I at third base? Does that make a difference for you at the plate, just knowing that every day you show up to the ballpark, you know where you're going to be?
I think it does. I think that, more than anything, kind of it being my third year, but not a full season, I've had so many ups and downs, you could say, already. So, just being able to have something to reflect when things aren't going well, in a 162-game season, or when things are going well, how do I handle that? I think the biggest thing for me is just being as even keel as possible, throughout the season, because there are going to be highs and there are going to be lows. And I think that the good ones that continue to put up numbers year in, year out keep that level-headed and just kind of ride that roller coaster and not, like I said, not get too up, not too get down. And that's the mental side of how I'm gonna go about it this year.
On a lighter note, man, you're living the life down there at spring training. Brand new complex. We were there last year with you, but, with the COVID thing going on now, we're back in Atlanta. What do you love so much about spring training in the big leagues?
The facility is impeccable. I mean, it's just the best. Orlando was really cool just because it was the ESPN Disney type thing. But being here in Northport and having the setup that we have, in Orlando, we were having to travel forever to go to the backfields. Now everything is just right there, secluded. You got everything you need right there. Then, almost reaching distance. So that's been the I guess the luxury thing about this new place. And like I said, it's tough to beat.
Austin Riley joins Buck and Hut here on The Fan. Austin, what do you think will be the approach, at least specifically early in the season, the first month or two? What do you think will be the scouting report from opposing pitchers to you? Do you think it'll be a lot of off-speed pitches? Everybody now has a good handful on what your strengths and weaknesses are. What do you expect to see from opposing pitchers early in the season?
Personally, I think it's going to be, they're going to challenge me. I kind of, I wouldn't say overly adjusted, from 2019, 2020, but I was able to make the adjustment on off speed, but then kind of got caught in a little bit in between on the hard stuff. So, for me, I think they're gonna test me and see kind of how that approach is, right out of the gate, challenge me a little bit. And like I said, I've been working really hard this off season on getting back to a swing that mainly, predominantly is on the fastball, and then be able to, recognize that off speed stuff. So I think I'm gonna be in a good position to handle whatever they throw at me.
Were you thrilled when they re-signed Ozuna and brought him back in here? Is he a guy, similar right-handed hitter, power swing, much like yourself? Does it help you to be able to talk with him about how these pitchers are approaching him?
It was a huge sign. I love him to death. He's great for the clubhouse. Always brings the energy. Very, very light-mooded type guy. You definitely watch really more of to me, I watch him. How are they pitching him more so of the mechanical side of it? Just really picking his brain because he is very articulate about the way his memory bank is very, very good. He can tell you what pitch was thrown 2 years ago against this hitter, and I think that's pretty cool, and I think that helps him a lot because, like I said, he has that memory bank of what guys did in this situation multiple times and that kind of stuff.
Austin Riley joins Buck and Hut here on The Fan. Austin, there were a lot of moves. This was already a really good pitching division. You got DeGrom and Strasburg and Scherzer that you got to see, several times a year. But then, the Nats add Lester. Do you pay attention to that stuff in the offseason? And what do you just make about the difficult and just really, really good quality pitchers that you got to see in this division this year?
Yeah, I definitely take notice for sure. I think all of us do. But at the same time, it's more so of putting up together a plan that is suited for you, and that like I said, you got to go to your strengths at the end of the day of what you can do with a bat. And I think that more so of hearing a namesake guy like a Scherzer, those guys are nasty, but at the same time they got to throw it over the plate, they got to make a pitch. And, you just got to be ready to capitalize on a mistake I know they don't do very often. Now that's what makes them so good. But at the same time, you got to be ready for those, and you can't miss them.
Austin, have you seen some of these projections? Some of those have the Braves not winning a fourth consecutive National League East. Just curious, when you see this, these analysts picking these other teams to win the East, not the Braves, is that a motivator at all, or do you just say, we're going to show them?
More so, it's a little bit of, motivation just because, like I said, we got some unfinished business, obviously the way things ended last year and see that, it just kind of puts that chip on the shoulder. Hey, we got some things to prove. Like I said, this team is very, very level-headed. You know, we're just going to come out there and play our game, and I think, you know, kind of let on-field stuff take care of itself.
Austin, last question for you, then we'll let you go. I'd imagine the shorter bus rides this year to the exhibition games make it a little bit more palatable. But what at what point in training camp or spring training, excuse me, do you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm over this. I'm ready for regular season games? Like, is that halfway through? Is it through the third week? Give me like one thing you love about spring training and one thing you're not a big fan of.
You know, probably the one thing I do love about spring training, it's you know, you're going out there at the same time you're competing for a job, but it is a little bit not as of like a high intensity. It's just, you know, you are getting ready for a full season. So I do like that aspect of it. It's just, you know, like I said, you're with the boys, you know, the guys you hadn't seen over the course of the winter, so you're getting back with them, playing around the golf here and there. So I do love that about that. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes by the end of it, you're ready to go. And you know, the day game, the waking up super early in the mornings kind of gets a little monotonous. Like I said, like once that last week or two, you're ready for game mode. So yeah, waking up, having to get to the yard at 7 o'clock can get a little old by the end of it.
Austin, last thing from me. What about your offseason? Do you shut it down for a little bit? Are you working out year-round? What's the offseason workout plan look like?
So I typically, baseball-wise, I pick it up about 1st of December-ish. I go out. I normally take a trip out to Dallas to see my hitting coach, Mike Bumley, before I get really amped up just to make sure everything's going. But I normally take about, say we end in October, I'll take, you know, a couple weeks off, you know, workout-wise, and then I'll slowly start to gradually get back into it.
Well, best of luck, man. We're hoping you have a big season.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.